This is Sangy Davis. It's time for the lion to Ika. For unity is strength. Let us come together, my brethren and sisters, and forward to the motherland. Enough love. And this is the lion's voice. Ja Ras Tafari.
I'm Nana Faraka. The time has come for the lioness to tell her story from her viewpoint and tell the world who Queen Omega is. This is the lion's voice.
Government is trapping the system. Government is trapping the system. The system.
You know, so I never take it no joke way, you know, and I make sure that because I was feeling so young in it, and Jamaica was such a small prototype that I think there was visions there and thing, but this now had to be applied to big scale.
Yes.
I'm dealing with like real life problems like malaria. For how youth across the country, and UNICEF is looking to you to say how you can do behavior change programs on this to save lives and these things, you know. So one thing I really learned in life is, you know, how important partnership is. And get ones who, if any gap that you have personally, you have to engage with ones who can do the work.
Yes.
So part of your responsibility is to identify these individuals who are going to, as a team, be able to work and execute what it is to be done. And, you know, that is what it taught me. In, you know, how to identify the local talent also, because if you go in scale, it can be imported. You know, it's got to be grounded in community. So that was my real exposure in how to work with communities on a big scale, and to have identify ones who are feeling inspired and empowered, who are going to be basically your voice piece. You know, whatever is the agenda, and listening, and again, database, you know, like listening to what is needed to make a difference. So.
The year is 1892, and the land of Ethiopia has been experiencing 4 years of terrible famine and drought. They call it the Kikuken, or the evil days. At least 1/3 of the human population and 90% of the cattle have died. The hyenas have feasted on so many carcasses that they have become overweight and barely able to move. Just when the people could take no more of the evil days, a woman named Wasiro Yeshimabe is giving birth in a place called Erjersa Gora. This is her 9th attempt to bring forth new life. Her previous 8 attempts only resulted in death. Will this child live? Thankfully, a healthy baby boy is born. His first cries are drowned by thunder and lightning flashes across the night sky. The heavens open up and torrential rain starts to fall. Ethiopia's drought is over, and the baby boy is given the name Tafari, meaning one to be feared or respected. Ras Tafari's father, Ras McDonald, is a very important man in 1892 Ethiopia. Although he is overjoyed at the birth of his newborn son, he cannot spend much time with him. Ras McDonald is the governor of Harar and must get back to the famous walled city to deal with its affairs. Furthermore, he is the foreign minister of Ethiopia, and having traveled to different places in Europe, he is very aware of the material and military advances they have made and the looming threats they pose to his country. Ras McDonald knows that the majority of Ethiopians have no idea what is coming, and that he has to work that much harder to secure the realm. Ras Tafari would grow up to become the legendary emperor, Haile Selassie I. To understand his journey, we must first understand the Ethiopia that he was inheriting, and what it was like when he was born in 1892. Get your copy of Kwesi Bansu's book, Haile Selassie I Ethiopia, Volume 1, The Rise of the Priestly Warrior Kings, and increase your knowledge about the history, politics, and culture of Ethiopia in 1892, and how it connects to the rest of African and world history at the time. Haile Selassie I Ethiopia, Volume 1 is available for purchase at www.bookmanexpress.pub. Please visit for more information.
Okay.
That whole like vibration in Africa, wow. You know, I'm saying mind blowing. I feel like I live all 7 lives in a one.
Wow, I can imagine.
Wow. Yes.
So coming from Jamaica's Ras Tafari, it's always special when you step on the continent. What was what stands out in your mind's eye in terms of that initial experience with the continent, the reality versus the what you had vision in your head?
Come back from the people then, cause you're a big man around here.
Who's that?
Who that?
Healing. Ras Tafari.
Yes, you
What the I name for you? Tell the people what the I name.
Yeah, I am Flagman Judah from the Mali clan.
Okay, big up
yourself. Gang like Junior Gang Flagman.
You're the strongest. You're the strongest.
Him him hand nearly broke off.
Yeah, no. Yeah, man.
We have to interview the eye, so we are gonna get the eye link, you know.
Yes, sir.
What you mean for
yes.
Yeah, man.
I just come and the fuel come to my fueling station, you know.
Yes.
Fuel, keep it going.
Thanks, right. But we have to get the eye story because they have one of the most important job in the music industry to keep the banner. You know what I mean? The line of Judah conquering to conquer, you know what I mean? So I really want to talk to the eye about the discipline, because the eye is an example of discipline. You know what I mean? Because I watch the eye more time when the ones I perform at the eye, I watch them and I say, look on the eye, you not drop it. You know what I mean? The energy, you know what I mean? So definitely we give thanks, you know?
The time, beloved.
Yeah, man, I reach out, I get the eye link.
Yes, Lord. Give thanks.
Yes, give thanks. And that is another part, that the eye is a matriarch to so many, you know, so many pass through the eye. Skyline and Camilla's kitchen and the eye has been there as an example. And I think these things are not seen, but they need to be highlighted. And I'm so happy that this platform, we can start highlighting some of these things for the global family to see. No, there's a light even in the darkness. There's always Rastafari light and families and development and progress that is happening.
We have to keep it positive. You know, I can't go down with the critical and the always something for be wrong and whatever. We have to just block out that and move towards the alternative. Stop complaining, stop looking on the negative. Yeah, it's there. We can point it out, yes, we can know it. But we can't waste energy. The time is short.
No.
I feel very urgent. Me have an urgent spirit. Give thanks to my energy. Me have an urgent spirit left.
Yeah, man.
One who deal with real things and move forward. Is that where I defend.
That is it, because we see, prophecy time now, you know, for those who are on the prophecy frequency, we see all of the signs, you know what I mean? So it's movement. So talk to us about touching down in Africa. The reality versus, you know, as a little girl, you've been thinking about this place, you've been reading about it. What was the reality like versus, you know, your expectation?
So 2 experiences I would love to share with the idea, because it's semi-humorous, you know, still at the same time. Because as you said, so Andrew's where I was developing that just love and like the liberty of Rastafari even before me start dread, we are draw Ethiopia, you read Ethiopia, African countries, history, Pan-African thing, and then to be called within your professional work to be doing an international, paying me to be in Africa. I was like, okay, all right, this has got to be like this is next level,
Yes.
But it was, it show you how much stereotype we have about Africa. When I went to touch down in like Tanzania, cold, like a certain place in Tanzania, freezing.
Yes.
I never had that, it's just like, if you like Africa near the equator, you feel like it everywhere hot,
Yes.
and this is our darkness, we don't really know the diversity of Africa, really.
Yes.
So that was, one of the experiences. But Tanzania was, wow. I mean, I was thrown in a deep end to be in a very high level post, because I remember it's UNICEF. UNICEF works with government all over the world. So you're working with governments. You're there. You're being paid to support the government, basically. So I never take it no joke way. And I make sure that, because I was feeling so young in it, and Jamaica was such a small prototype, that I think there was visions there and thing, but this now had to be applied to big scale.
Yes.
I'm dealing with like real life problems like malaria for youth across the country, and UNICEF is looking to you to say how you can do behavior change programs on this to save lives and these things, So one thing I really learned in life is, how important partnership is.
Yes.
And get ones who, if any gap that you have personally, you have to engage with ones who can do the work.
Yes.
So part of your responsibility is to identify these individuals who are going to, as a team, be able to work and execute what it is to be done. And, that is what it taught me. How to identify the local talent also, because if you go in scale, it can be imported. It's got to be grounded in community. So that was my real exposure in how to work with communities on a big scale, and to identify ones who are feeling inspired and empowered, who are going to be basically your voice piece. Whatever is the agenda, and listening, and again, database, like listening to what is needed to make a difference. So that was Tanzania for 3-4 years. The family learned Kiswahili, language of a little thing where if you don't practice it, you lose it. But I was pretty fluent in Kiswahili,
Yes.
And a lot of youth's names are, all of the youth names.
Do any of your children remember the Kiswahili? Did they keep it up, or?
Even Kelly saw in our songs, have embraced it, and it is a thing we'll come back to, because when I revisit, I haven't been there often as much as I would love to.
Yes.
You go forward, after a few days, the little language centers turn on, and it's quite cool. But it's a beautiful thing to be able to converse in.
Yeah, man. And I think it's critical. It's critical for our reintegration to the continent, language acquisition.
It's embracing. When you try and you're saying words and they feel you too,
Yes.
But to be honest now, when I moved to Ethiopia, I felt like it's like I done learn Kiswahili. What you want me to learn now? Amharic. Amharic hard, So I have to say that I never really conquered the Amharic,
Okay.
That's, some wishes in your next life is that I can be fluent in Amharic too.
You have our next 100 years to live physical. Don't count it out,
But it was a joy, So moving now to Ethiopia. So the mystics of moving from now Tanzania, where I was taken from that, call to try and replicate a model that was being done in Jamaica in terms of integrated early childhood development application to Tanzania. What took I to now Ethiopia was really Bob Marley. May I tell you the honest truth? I mean, I tell you a true story.
Okay.
These are, if I ever get the time to write my biography, and it's not about the self-indulgence. It's just seeing the mystics in reality is all I can say is what is a life story, and how that unfold, and each individual who have a purpose have that life story too.
Of course.
Tune in, and so that we can almost use that will that carried this life force into that journey. It's something we can tap into, you know.
Yeah, man.
That is those powerful sciences that build the pyramids and
Yeah, man.
things that, you know. So I really believe in those things. Maybe because my father was and my mother was very out there in terms of their thinking.
Yes.
We don't be taught. Because thought can move into action and manifest.
Of course.
Powers. So anyhow, why did Bob Marley carry me to Ethiopia? It was because it was his 6th day at Earth Strong.
Okay.
And the most magnificent, most incredible opportunity came up where UNICEF, somehow a very forward-thinking representative of UNICEF, representative meaning the head of the office, and Ethiopia is the biggest UNICEF office in the world.
Okay.
So somehow I think the Rita Marley and family, the Bob Marley and Rita Marley Foundation went to UNICEF seeking sponsorship because what they want, they knew to get so many, they wanted, it was dubbed Africa Unite.
Well, great is the Almighty, and greatly to be praised in the city of Haile Selassie I, the mountain of His holiness.
Yeah, from Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, you know, the whole entire continent.
Beautiful for situation, the joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion, from Accra to Addis Ababa.
Yes, it's a beautiful continent, better control, mama.
Very beautiful.
From Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, I smile. From
I hear you call Mama Africa. Been so long since I seen Mama. Father of Africa set the law. The lion come and dismantle Babylon flaw. We gonna use solar energy, use sanitation to build the ecology. We utilizing green technology. We hailing Haile Selassie first without apology. And then we build the youth them economy. We dismantle Babylon monopoly. We teach the youth them how to live properly. Tell them make sure them got the title for them property.
yes, this beautiful continent, better control, mama. Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, I smile for mama.
I love you, mama, your heart never harden. I wanna turn all your slums into garden. I wanna stop all of your youths from starving. I wanna stop all of your tribes from warring. So much to say, so many feelings. We both been hurt, we both need healing. Since the League of Nations you've been appealing. You stand up against them backdoor dealing. I hear you call Mama Africa. Been so long since I seen Mama. Father of Africa set the law. The lion come and dismantle Babylon flaw. Then I hear you call Mama Africa. Been so long in America. Father of Africa set the law. The lion come and dismantle Babylon flaw.
So be still, all enemies of Jah. Know that He's the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, the Lion Conqueror. And it was said of Ethiopia, the highest himself shall establish her. His Majesty was born there.
And I know that I love you so. There's no place that I'd rather go. Tired of walking through slush and snow. Repatriation, that's a must I know.